He received a good education and became a Catholic priest. Little did anyone know that Zwingli would eventually become one of the most outspoken Protestant reformers of his age. Not long into his priesthood, Zwingli became critical of the Catholic Church. He noticed some abuses, and his interpretations of the Bible led him to believe that Catholicism was wrong in some of its doctrines and practices. Zwingli, who was a very popular and charismatic preacher, soon convinced many people that he was right. Eventually, he attained an influential position in the major Swiss city of Zurich, and from there he continued to preach reform. He also became heavily involved in Swiss politics. In January of 1523, Zwingli presented his 67 articles to Zurich City Council. In them, he argued for a new system, a reform of Christianity, and essentially a break with the Catholic Church. What exactly did Zwingli teach in those 67 articles? First, he objected to the Pope as the leader of the Church. He also opposed Catholic practices and doctrines like fasting, purgatory, indulgences, veneration, and intercession of the saints, celibacy for the clergy, and monasticism. For Zwingli, salvation came through faith alone. Human works didn't count for anything. Moreover, everything a Christian needed to know came from the Bible. Catholic tradition was unnecessary. Zwingli also attacked the Catholic sacraments and the Mass. He claimed that instead of 7 sacraments, there were really only 2, baptism and the Eucharist. He further taught that the Eucharist, or Lord's Supper, was merely a symbolic remembrance, and Jesus Christ was in no way present in it at all. Zwingli argued strongly against the Catholic Mass. He desired simple worship, singing only psalms in church services, and removing all images from church buildings. He believed that he was restoring the church to the purity of the church of the first apostles. Zwingli's reforms soon took hold in Zurich and began to spread to other parts of Switzerland. The reformer and his political allies tried to force Catholic regions of the country to accept Protestantism by slapping them with economic sanctions that prohibited trade in basic necessities like wheat, salt, and iron. Not surprisingly, the Catholics fought back. In October of 1531, Catholic forces marched on Zurich. When Zwingli himself led Protestant troops out to meet them, he was quickly killed, and his forces scattered. The Catholics didn't pursue the fight, but the defeated Protestants lifted the sanctions and allowed their neighbors to retain their own religious beliefs.